Hey everyone, welcome back to English Easy to Learn, the channel where we make English easy to learn for everyone. Have you ever wondered why so many people can understand English? They can read it, write it, maybe even get good grades in school, but when it's time to actually speak, their mind just goes blank. They know the words, they know the grammar, but when someone says, "Hey, can you tell me about yourself?" Suddenly, they freeze. If that sounds familiar, don't worry, you're not alone. Today, we're breaking down why people can't speak English fluently, even after years of learning it, and what can be done to finally fix it. Let's start with the biggest reason. 1. People learn English the wrong way. From childhood, most of us are taught English like a subject, not a language. We memorize grammar rules, tenses, and definitions, but we rarely use them in real situations. It's like trying to learn to swim by reading a book about swimming. You can study the theory all you want, but until you jump into the water, you'll never actually learn how to float. In school, teachers often focus on exams, marks, and sentence correction, not on real communication. So, when it's finally time to speak English outside the classroom, your brain panics because it's never practiced that skill before. 2. Fear of making mistakes. One of the biggest barriers to speaking English is fear. Fear of being judged, fear of saying something wrong, or fear of sounding funny. Many learners hesitate to open their mouth because they think, "What if people laugh at me?" Or "What if my grammar is wrong?" But here's a truth every fluent speaker knows. Everyone makes mistakes, even native speakers. Think about it. Children don't wait until their grammar is perfect before they start speaking their mother tongue. They speak, they get corrected, they improve. That's how real learning happens. The more you speak, the better you get. But if you never speak, you'll never improve. 3. Translating from your native language. Another huge reason people can't speak English fluently is because they're always translating in their head. You think in your mother tongue first, then try to convert it into English word by word. By the time you've built the sentence, the conversation has already moved on. The secret is you have to start thinking in English, not 100% perfectly, but small steps. For example, instead of thinking, "Men punny pi rahan hu," try thinking directly, "I'm drinking water." It feels weird at first, but over time, your brain will adapt. Fluency doesn't come from translation. It comes from habit. 4. Lack of real-life practice. Let's be honest. Most learners study English, but very few use English. You can watch 1,000 YouTube lessons or memorize every word in the dictionary, but if you don't actually speak, nothing changes. Speaking is a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. If you don't use it, it gets weak. Try finding a speaking partner, join an online conversation group, or even talk to yourself in English for a few minutes every day. Yes, literally talk to yourself. Describe what you're doing, what you're thinking, or what you see around you. It may sound silly, but it works. Every fluent speaker you know went through that awkward phase. The difference is they didn't stop there. 5. Overthinking grammar and vocabulary. Most people think they need to have perfect grammar or a fancy vocabulary before they can start speaking. That's completely wrong. Fluency is not about perfection. It's about communication. If you say, "He go to school yesterday," everyone still understands what you mean. And that's the point. You can fix grammar later. Right now, focus on expressing yourself clearly and confidently. Even native speakers don't use perfect grammar all the time, so don't let grammar rules hold you back. They're tools, not traps. 6. Lack of listening. You can't speak what you don't hear. Fluency starts with listening. listening to how real people talk, how they pronounce words, how they connect sentences. That's why babies can speak before they ever learn to read. They listen first. Watch English movies, listen to podcasts, songs, YouTube videos, anything that keeps your ears connected to the language. Even if you don't understand every word, you're training your brain to pick up rhythm, tone, and patterns. The more you listen, the easier speaking becomes. 7. Comparing yourself to others. This is another silent killer of confidence. You look at someone who speaks fluent English and think, wow, I can never be like that. But remember, that person was once exactly where you are now. Everyone learns at a different speed. Your journey doesn't have to look like anyone else's. Instead of comparing, focus on progress, not perfection. If you can say one sentence today that you couldn't say last month, that's growth. Celebrate that. 9. Learning without context. Memorizing random words or grammar rules doesn't help much if you don't know when and how to use them. That's why it's better to learn in context, through stories, conversations, or real-life examples. Instead of learning the word nevertheless, learn it inside a sentence like, I was tired, nevertheless, I kept working. When you learn like that, the words stick in your brain naturally, not like a school lesson, but like a memory. 10. No emotional connection. Here's something most people never realize. You can't fall in love with a language if you treat it like homework. Find joy in English. Watch your favorite shows, follow creators who speak English, sing English songs, or read topics you love. When you connect emotionally, learning becomes effortless. Passion makes progress faster than pressure. So, to sum it up, people can't speak English not because they're bad at it, but because they've been learning it the wrong way. They study but don't practice. They memorize but don't use. They understand but don't express. The solution isn't magic, it's mindset. Speak more, fear less. Listen daily, think in English, and focus on progress, not perfection. And remember, fluency is not a gift, it's a skill, and every skill can be learned if you stay consistent. Thanks for watching. If this video helped you, hit that like button, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe for more content on learning English the smart way. See you in the next one.